another episode of Horror Movie Night. This week, we watched Monkey Shines, the 1988 film that mixes telepathy, bestiality, and vision quests. Adam really needs a monkey hug after this one. I've been up for 3 days doing the math about how much time I saved by not sleeping, and Scott's just happy that he got to see some hot, steamy, graphic cripple sex. Let's talk. So, I was not someone who wanted us to watch Monkey Shines, but Scott was very excited at the idea of watching Monkey Shines.
And now you understand why.
The first thing I want to say before we start discussing the actual movie is I want to talk about the cover for a second.
Yes, please.
Because the cover is super iconic, and for the longest time I thought this was based on a Stephen King novel for no other reason than the cover looks similar to the Skeleton Crew cover.
Yep. Yeah.
I was shocked to find out that this is not based on any Stephen King book.
Well, thank goodness it's not, because if it was, it would have been a shit movie.
It probably would have been a shit book, too. But it is based on a book. Anyway, so Monkey Shine starts off, it's the story of a guy named Alan, who is an athlete. We know this because of the fact that he's running places and just chatting away with anybody.
Runs into the truck.
Runs right into a truck, and then we're shown all of his photos and medals and all this stuff showing how great of an athlete he was. To make us feel extra sad when we discover that he is now pretty much completely paralyzed from the neck down, which leads to him being depressed and suicidal. But his friend is a scientist, and he is experimenting with injecting monkeys with human brains to make them smarter. Do I have that right? That seems ridiculous. I wrote that down. I'm like, that can't possibly be what he's doing.
It appears that way. There's a lot of steps in this process that we're missing, but the final ingredient is frozen, shredded human brain, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. There's a
turned into a serum.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes bright green. I mean, it makes total sense scientifically. Shut up.
So his friend Herbert West is trying to.
Thank you.
So he meets. So Herbert West happens to meet this woman who trains monkeys to help the paralyzed. So he gives her Ella, one of the monkeys that he's been working on, and has her train that monkey to help Alan. Alan starts to fall in love with the trainer named Melanie, and
he also starts to fall in love with the monkey.
And he starts to develop a telepathic bond with the monkey Ella.
Don't come inside monkeys. You'll get a telepathic bond. Just don't do it.
Well, that might be the only explanation why they have a telepathic bond, because there's no other reason for that to happen in this movie. It's just kind of that thing that we got to be like, okay, I guess. And if you can't get past that, then you're not going to be able to get past the next hour of this film. But through this telepathic bond, Ella starts getting vengeance for Alan when the friends and family matters who have wronged him. Eventually, it's discovered that Alan might actually be able to walk again, which makes Ella jealous. And she tries to stop this from happening. And then I kind of zoned out a little bit, because all I have written down after that is Alan kills the monkey.
Yeah, you missed a lot of exposition there.
Well, to be honest with you, my notes section is missing a lot in that chunk too, because I was really just watching this movie with my mouth agape, just like, what the fuck?
But great film. I love this movie. I told you guys that I fucking love this film.
I know you love this movie, and I never understand it, and I continue to not understand it. But I do want to talk about the best scene in this movie is how Alan kills Ella. And he just, fucking chomps down on this monkey and just starts, shaking his head like a dog, killing another dog, as this, fake monkey's just being whacked around his face. And then it has this
it goes on for a long time, too. It's like 6 or 7 cuts of just, different angles of him shaking this monkey body around.
And then it has this fucking awful, which apparently George Romero, this is the movie that made George Romero go back to doing independent films. He was so pissed off with doing a big budget studio film and all the changes that were forced on him, because they forced him to add the successful surgery at the end, which he thought was cheesy to tack on there, and the jump scare towards the end of the movie where the monkey just pops out of somebody. So, I mean, I can get...
Hey, guys, I gotta tell you something.
What up?
It's my favorite George Romero film.
Yeah, you're on your own for that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to go ahead and agree with that. I mean, even if we were to ignore that Day of the Dead is a pretty great movie, I still would like I would watch Martin over this.
No, this movie is fucking great. I've watched this movie 3 times.
Can we talk about... Do either one of you know the tagline to this movie?
I have the poster in front of me here.
Because
okay.
it's a poem.
Yep. Okay, I've got it. Once there was a man whose prison was a chair. The man had a monkey. They made the strange pair. The monkey rolled the man. It climbed inside his head. And now as fate would have it, one of them is dead.
I miss when movie taglines were full poems.
I miss when movie taglines were fucking 50 words. Jesus. I was expecting it to be a shitty pun. Truly.
Yeah, no, there's so many monkey puns that could have been used. But
yeah,
no.
You got something about a banana? No, not at all. Okay.
No, nothing. Yeah, the only other note that I have to talk about in this entire movie, because we went over the tagline, we went over the way that the monkey's killed, is like the caretaker in this movie is like the shittiest human being possible.
Yeah, I can't believe that she like hung around for as long as she did if she hated her job so much.
Yeah, like you know what your job entails, right? Like you're a caretaker to a guy who can't do really anything. And like there's that awkward scene where like her bird is attacking him and she's trying to like pull him back into the bed and it's like this really crazy camera angle and then she's mad at him.
Yeah, I was about to say at the end of that scene, like her bird attacks him. She almost knocks him out of the bed. She is like almost incapable of getting him back safely on the bed. And then finally they get back safely and she looks at him and goes, "Oh, God help me." I was like, "You psychotic bitch. What the shit?"
She's awful. She's just a terrible human being throughout the whole film. Does she even... I can't remember. Did she get killed? I know the canary does, but...
she gets fucking killed. She gets fucking killed. No, she doesn't get killed. I was thinking that she got killed, but no, her mom gets...
Yeah, the mom gets the toaster... or gets electrocuted. The girlfriend and the doctor get, like, set on fire in a cabin. But, yeah, the caretaker... Listen, who's the worst of them all.
Yeah, everybody except for... his scientist buddy deserved to fucking die. This is where everybody gets to see behind the curtain. I messaged you guys. What was it last week when I was rewatching it, and I just said they should rename this movie "Bitter People" because everybody's just so upset all the time. So here's why I love this movie, because it is one of the more depressing films that we've discussed in this in our time doing horror movie night or horror club, because like everybody's just sad. Like even the blonde chick that sits on his face eventually, and that's like amazing, and we'll get into that in a second. She's even kind of sad. Like everybody's just so sad in this movie, except for Ella, who's just psychotic. But
all the smiles that monkey has while being psychotic.
Looks like my ex-girlfriend's.
It's one jolly fucking monkey.
I was thinking, like, why... Because I messaged you guys. I was like, why is this movie so fucking long?
Yeah,
like,
it does not need to be 2 hours.
And there's a lot of scenes that you can, like, see they should have trimmed the fat. But then I was thinking, like, you know what? They were probably having so much fun just, like, filming this monkey and, like, getting all its, like, cute little reactions and just seeing all the different things that it could do that they just didn't want to stop. And that they just kind of, like... really over padded the fucking runtime of the film because they were all just enamored with this cute little monkey.
I know that Roger Ebert had a review that I don't disagree with, in which he said like this movie is a 4-star thriller, a 90-minute 4-star thriller stuck in the body of a 2.5-star 2-hour movie, and I don't totally disagree with that. Like. This movie would be a lot better to me if it was shorter and they trimmed a lot of the fat and just got to the point, because there's so many different like storylines and plot points bouncing all over the place in this thing that it's really hard to keep up with everything that's going on. And all I care about is the monkey. But I think that the biggest reason why I don't like Monkey Shines is because this is one of those covers that I used to stare at all the time. And this is going to sound ridiculous.
Expectation versus reality, yeah.
No, I was disappointed that it wasn't about a killer monkey toy.
Oh, you wanted it to be about, like, the actual clapper thing?
Yeah,
It really would have been a Stephen King if it had been
like that
about a
cover,
toy.
that monkey on that cover is so terrifying. And I bought the Scream Factory Blu-ray, and all their Blu-rays have reversible covers. So, but they didn't. Usually they have like a professional artist do like a brand new cover, and then the reversible art is like the original VHS cover. But instead, it's just two different versions of the original cover. Just one with the symbols, and then the other one is like the monkey has fangs and claws and a giant bloody razor blade in his hand instead. And I don't remember which one's the real one anymore because they both seem plausible that they were on the VHS tapes that I used to stare at in the video store. And also, like I said, it's confusing because that fucking Stephen King Skeleton Crew cover is so close to the same thing.
Pretty shit, though.
You've read the actual...
Yeah. It's not, it's just, they keep trying to throw away this toy, and it keeps coming back.
Oh, the Stephen King one.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the,
no. I barely wanted to watch this movie. Why would I read a fucking book, man?
There's something seriously wrong with you guys. You didn't love this movie.
Well, listen, I did enjoy the second half of it. I will give you that much. Like, once shit starts ramping up and he starts having crazy monkey visions, like, then it's fucking awesome. I was really having a hard time even getting through it. And then Monkey Vision Quest time started, and it was a whole fucking different movie. And I completely got over how bummed out I was at the beginning because I was like, this is fucking absurd. Like, what the shit going on?
I like that you just keep calling it Monkey Vision Quest.
That's what he was like. That's what he was doing.
All right, well, I know that you warned us that you've got like a shit ton of notes, so unless Scott has anything else he wants to add, I guess we should say this was picked by Plymouth from the Reddit Horror Club. Now that we're 15 minutes deep into the recording, Plymouth picked this one. But unless Scott has anything else to add, I think Adam's notes will probably fill like the next 20, 30 minutes.
We have to talk about the face sit-in.
Oh, well, I feel like, how much more detail do you want to get into on it?
I want to talk about how amazing that sex scene is.
Go ahead.
But I don't think that we're going to be in agreement. I mean, I don't think there's anything to like really...
I don't disagree, but I just don't know how much details we can get into it without coming off pervier than we've ever been perved before.
I have a pretty concise note about that. I just go, cripple sex in a room full of monkeys. Oh my god, and it goes on for like 5 straight minutes. This movie has everything.
It doesn't go on that long. She sits
goes
on
on
his face for
uncomfortably
maybe
long.
a minute.
He brought her to full orgasm.
Right, and you're just jealous. Okay, go on your notes.
Okay, so this is the Monkey Shine notes. Right off the bat, we're getting a lot of butt in this movie. And then, of course, we have to see how athletic this guy is before we tragically cripple him. It was pretty sweet that truck knocked him into a perfect pirouette, though.
Yeah.
More pirouettes.
Yeah. Hey, if I ever get crippled, please don't throw a party about it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I just want to maybe come home and be alone for a while. I don't want everybody there partying it up.
Well, you don't want to have a your life is practically over party?
Yeah. No, all right.
Let's hang up pictures of all the things you love to do when you could walk, and we'll just hang them up and celebrate things.
Well, later on, I'm going to show you a slideshow of all the times that you used to be able to walk, so... Yeah, this character, like him doing drugs and these weird brain-shaving nighttime activities is just weird as shit. What was his... You called him Herbert West, but what was his name in the movie? What was his character name? Jeffrey. And
yes.
Isn't that the actor's name who plays Herbert West?
Jeffrey Combs?
Jeffrey Combs. So there's a little connection there.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yep. And then there's a scene where he like says a joke where the guy's like, "Listen, if she's not gonna come around here, then fuck her." And the other guy's like, "I can't." And you'd think that.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, you'd think like they would laugh about it, but they just solemnly stare at each other, and then the scene fades out. I don't know what's worse, the car accident or birds flying in your face and fucking slideshows with your mom.
Also, that when Ella kills the fucking bird, that's a dead bird coming out of the nurse's shoe.
It really is. That for sure was an actual dead parakeet.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Someone took Stephen Root's red stapler, and now he's taking it out on monkeys. Man, this movie, at the beginning at least, made me want to help her monkey. Like, when he was getting monkey hugs and stuff, I was like, oh, this is the best. I love this monkey. Even near the end, the monkey really endeared itself to me when it pissed on his lap at the end. I was like, I love this monkey.
Well, we know what kind of porn you're into.
Oh, yeah. Very, very specific kinds. So these guys are falling in love through a monkey training montage. And then the monkey turns all the lights off and puts on some, like, mood music. And I was like, is this monkey seriously trying to set the mood with this guy right now? This movie could be rewritten as a love triangle between a man and a woman and his helper monkey. And it would be super kooky and zany and hilarious. Sorry, I'm just trying to skip my boring notes. I took too many goddamn notes.
You know, I'm super disappointed that this movie didn't get like a crazy amount of positive response from you guys.
Well, it does. Believe me, it does closer to the end of these notes because it got really, really, really insane. Okay, so at this point in the movie, this is when the monkey starts, well, quote unquote, starts acting threatening. And if I'm supposed to find this monkey threatening in any way, shape, or form, then this movie has already failed as a horror movie because there's nothing at all scary about this monkey.
I think that this movie is more of a drama. Really, it is.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like a psychological drama. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there really is no, like, supernatural or telepathic element here. Maybe Alan was just a little bit fucked up in the head, and the monkey was doing stuff of its own accord.
Or maybe, because it is implied that Alan can move his finger. So what if, in his sleeping state, Alan's able to just get up and walk around and do whatever the fuck he wants?
Yeah, so he's like, I'm going to drive out to the cabin where my doctor and ex-girlfriend are, and I'll just
set it on fire, and then I'm going to pick just a little piece of wood to place on my monkey to frame him. But then when I wake up in the morning, I won't even remember that any of this happened and be like, oh, the monkey did it!
That's why the monkey attacked at the end. The monkey was pissed that Alan was blaming all this shit.
Like, I'm sick of this bullshit.
Okay, so the scene with the bird, where like the bird attacks him, I was laughing so hard I had to pause the movie and stop for a minute because it seriously looks like they just grabbed that bird, like shook it the fuck up, and then threw it in his face and just let it attack him. Because it was going at like his eyes and shit, and he was just losing his mind. And then the scene where like the nurse and him have like that argument, and she's like, "You killed my bogey!" Like the acting in that scene is fucking amazing. That they were able to keep straight faces through any of that dialogue is just astounding to me. And then the mom moves in, and it's like, well, it's kind of hard to hate this character really because her heart is in the right place. Like she's just trying to help her sick son, and this guy's being a real psychopath.
It's the monkey's fault, though.
Because he's able to get up and walk around and do this shit.
He's like, Mom, really?
I'm gonna kill my mom in the bath. No.
Well, he's like, Mom, seriously, you don't need to be here. I can actually walk. I'm just pinning it on the monkey.
Once everyone who's wronged me is dead, I will find a miracle cure, quote unquote. Just stay out of the line of fire, Mom.
Okay, maybe if you're having, like, crazy monkey vision quests, don't tell your friends about it. Maybe just keep that to yourself.
Well, do you think that Jeff would be alive if he had not said anything about it, or?
Maybe if he had just finished his plot to kill everyone he was mad at and found the miracle cure, everybody.
No, he would have killed Mom anyway because like Mom was annoying him too. She never let him dress up as a pirate or whatever when he was a kid.
As a robot. He wanted to be Mr. Robot or something.
Yeah, Mr. Roboto. He wanted to be Mr. Roboto.
He gets in an argument with Melanie in the van, and she goes like, I don't like this change in you, Alan. Talking about Monkey Quest, being angry that you're crippled. It's unnatural. You got too much rage. He's upset that doctor crippled him. I mean, don't hold him back. He's fucking crippled. Like, he has every right to be. Okay, so I'll admit at this point in the movie that I'm enjoying, but holy fuck, why is there still an hour of this movie left?
Yeah, it does go on too long.
And then this is a point where Jeff takes the monkey away and he goes and stays at Melanie's for a while. And it was like, yeah, I understand that you just had like a weird emotional thing with a monkey, but I'm going to get you to sleep out here in a barn with like 50 of them. Is that okay? Okay, cool. I would think you want to avoid monkeys and have cripple sex in a room full of them. That's just me, though.
I mean, you liked when the monkey peed on him.
I did. That's probably my favorite part. It was just so unexpected.
Yeah, I think that he was pretty upset and impressed with that, too.
Well, like, the monkey gets up, just trenches his crotch, and he looks down at the monkey and goes, "You're fucking slime." I was like, what the fuck? Nobody will ever know the simple joys of monkey needle hockey. Nobody except Jeff. Let's play a little monkey needle hockey in the hallway there.
Also, I don't understand why Jeff brought 2 vials of poison. Like, why wouldn't he bring 1 vial of poison, 1 vial of the green shit? Because if she's smart enough to know that the white stuff isn't the green stuff.
Oh, the monkey had taken all the green stuff. And, like, the whatever he had left, he used when he was, like, in that red room or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry. I thought there was some left.
Okay, I have a drinking game for this movie. Every time Alan says "mother," you have to shut the movie off, drive to a bar, and watch something else. A monkey with a straight razor is still not threatening. There's nothing threatening about this tiny little monkey. Pick it up, throw it across the room, fucking smash it. Like,
bite into it.
Your arms don't work.
Bite into it and just shake it around violently.
Yeah. And then again, I don't really have a lot of notes for that end climax scene. I mean, it goes on for a long, long time. He has some more visions. She comes in. She gets knocked out. He just bumps into her repeatedly with his wheelchair over and over again. But then there's the jump scare at the end of the movie, and I have a question for you guys. You see this watered down sippy cup of bourbon? Well, I once saw a monkey pop out of a man's back. And that's it. I mean, it dragged. It was weird. I didn't get it. I still don't get it, but I was happy that I watched it when I was done watching it.
But there was a monkey, and he was doing some monkey shit, and that's all I wanted.
You damn right.
I'm kind of disappointed that Ella never pooped in the maid's shoe. Like, they implied
that was going to happen.
Yeah, like, they put the banana peel in the shoe. That's like, ha, silly monkey. And then you put some shit in it. Like, that's the next step before the dead bird.
I like how viciously you describe the shit, too. It's not just like, you put some shit in it. It's like, there's some goddamn shit in this shoe.
You know what would be even better?
God fucking damn it, Bella!
What they should have shown is Bella pooping in a bag, lighting it on fire because she likes fire, obviously, ringing the doorbell, and then getting back inside. So if the maid goes out, she's like, "Oh, it's a flaming bag of poop," and she puts it out with her shoe.
Is it poop again?
Okay, what this movie did not need was an extra Animal House fucking prank scene in it that padded out even more.
So, I am on the IMDb trivia page, which is quite possibly the most depressingly uninteresting trivia page in internet history, because it's only got 4 pieces of trivia. One of them we already talked about, how this was his first studio film, and they recut the movie, so we went back to doing independent films. But then there's these following 3 fascinating pieces of movie trivia. This was the first film role for Stephen Root.
Stephen Root?
Milton from Office Space. He plays like one of the
What?
lab. Yeah, he's the lab assistant or the guy.
Yeah, but like it's his first film.
Yeah. Number 2, one of the very few films depicting quadriplegics having sex. And the final interesting piece of trivia: one of the few films in cinema history to feature a male monkey.
I'd like to point out that IMDb's user base rated that 5 out of 8 people found that trivia interesting.
5 people were like, no shit, one of the only ones with male monkeys, huh? How about that? Even though the monkey's name is Ella, so you'd imagine if ever a time for a female monkey to step into the role, it'd be then.
Movie magic, man. Movie magic.
All that money spent to digitally erase the penis from each piece of celluloid.
There was a guy whose job was to go through and make sure there was no monkey penis showing.
If he did, he got fired on the spot. They're like, oh, there was it. I saw a tip. He's out. Bring in the new monkey penis eraser. Let's just talk about what we watched this week. I'll go first because I have almost nothing to talk about. I just didn't get much time to watch anything. Not horror related, but I did watch the movie St. Vincent with Bill Murray and Melissa McCarthy. It's okay. Depressing as shit. I don't know if I'd ever watch it again, but it's
no
good.
interest.
But it's good. It's typical. It's like Bad Santa if Bad Santa was trying to be a little bit more dramatic than comedic, where it's like, hey, grumpy old man gets stuck babysitting some weird fucking kid. But fuck that movie. I mean, if that's the type of like weird indie film that you're into, it's not terrible, but it's I wouldn't like seek it out. The other movie I watched was what I watched during Weird Ass Movie Night this week, which was Sick, which stands for Serial Insane Clown Killer. This movie is pretty garbage. It might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I constantly am telling people that I believe it to be on par with like a Troll 2 or The Room, in the sense that every single thing that could possibly go wrong goes wrong. The acting is weird. The dialogue is weird. The storyline's weird. The twist is stupid. And what I'm trying to say is that I will be picking this for a future horror movie night because.
Oh no!
Please don't.
Matt.
I think I might be like on vacation that week.
Well, we can just record it a week early then, so that you can be there for the episode.
I'll be sick that week.
Okay, well, we can hold up a little bit. It's no big deal. We can get to... So since I got nothing else to throw out there, I'll just mention that once again, 2 weeks ago I said you should watch Rock and Roll Frankenstein, and I still stand by the fact you should probably watch Rock and Roll Frankenstein. Adam or Scott?
You're not winning me over on that one.
Well, I won Don over.
I don't think that's very hard. He likes you.
No, Don's already madly in love with us anyways.
All right, Adam, it's your turn.
I really watched almost nothing again this week either. I watched the newest episode of Rick and Morty. That show is more depressing than BoJack Horseman at this point. The last 3 episodes have all been incredible bummers that have all ended really, really sadly. Still a great show, but I'm having a hard time getting through it right now. Hopefully they do like a mid-season turn and it's not quite as depressing anymore, because it is really hitting home with these episodes. If you don't believe me, go check out the Rick and Morty subreddit right now, because that's literally all they have to talk about is how bummed out and depressed they are by this fucking show. So that's really all I watched this week.
I don't understand why you guys keep watching this depressing shit and you're like, hey, this is really, like, I'm really into this show. It's super depressing. Stop it.
I'm still standing by, Scott, that you should watch BoJack Horseman. No. Because it is genuinely funny, but it's just, it's a show that's funny that actually has some type of, like, heart and drama and reality to it, versus just being,
I don't want that.
You're like, I want to live in a fantasy world where it's all titties and violence.
Basically, yes.
Is that a good segue into what you watched this week?
Well, this episode had like Frankensteins and unicorns and all this crazy fucking nuts, polar bears with fucking sunglasses and shit. It had all this crazy shit, and then it was the last 45 seconds of the episode was just like, wasn't that a lot of fun? boom, hit you right in the nuts with like the most depressing thing they could think to do. Like that's what this show kind of does. BoJack Horseman is like an existential bummer of a show all the time.
But it's
Anyway,
so
what
good.
did you watch this week, Scott?
Yeah, what did you watch, Scotty?
All right,
I'm gonna guess that there was.
Watched...
I'm gonna guess that there was some
What?
titties and violence in it.
Yeah. So I had forgotten, like, I don't know. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I don't think I mentioned it. But did I tell you guys that I watched Hell Night?
No, you said you were
I watched
going
Hell
to.
Night. Wait, what?
You said you were going to. I think you were like, oh, next up on the chopping block's Hell Night, and then you never said anything about it the following week.
Yeah, I liked it. It's kind of silly, and but it's. I mean, Linda Blair got a Razzie for it. She's not a good actress. But it's a fun little silly kind of slasher with the haunted house kind of vibe to it, or like a more Victorian kind of castle freak type thing going on, with the freaks in the basement kind of feel.
And the penis tearing and
yeah, and the penis tearing. No penis tearing, but there is a lot of Quaalude use in this movie. I think that's what they were using. Quaaludes and cocaine and alcohol. The surfer dude and his little date are just hilarious. So I highly recommend it if you can find a copy. It's pretty fun. That said, this week I made my way through all 3 Slumber Party Massacres, and Slumber Party Massacre 2 is happening in the future. It is so good. It is so good.
And you don't need to see the first one to appreciate the second one at all.
No, you really don't. No, and the second one is just genuinely fun. They look like they're having fun. The acting is actually pretty good. I mean, the script is garbage, but the actresses in particular seem to like each other. They seem to know how to act like friends. So, I mean, it was a fun movie. And the funniest part about that movie, to me, has to be that the Playboy Playmate doesn't take her top off.
What?
the 2 girls that get naked are not play. I mean, I don't know who they are, but the one girl who's like the cutest of the 4, I was like, who is that girl? I look her up. She was a Playboy Playmate, and she doesn't take her top off. And she was actually one of the better actresses of the film. She eats it, obviously, but it's a pretty fun movie. Everybody is pretty likable. Even the douchey boyfriends are kind of fun, you know, whatever. So all 3 Slumber Party Massacres are on YouTube in full. I highly recommend people go watch them, or wait until I pick it in a round or 2, and then you'll be forced to watch it if you want to know more about the stupid bullshit that we spout about it. But there's a lot of good fodder in that movie. I mean, it's just very, I don't know, it's just goofy. It's just a goofy film. The best part, though, has to be that the girls have this band, and they have a garage band practice, and I think they actually knew how to, I don't know if they actually knew how to play the songs, but they knew how to mime on the instruments pretty well, because you watch the movie Josie and the Pussycats, where they took, like, I don't know, 3 weeks to teach Rosaria Dawson, Rachel Lee Cook, and Tara Reid how to fake play their instruments, and it still looks terrible. And then you watch Summer Party Massacre 2.
If that's your biggest complaint about Josie and the Pussycats, that's really not that. I have a lot bigger complaints about that movie.
What, that it's not long enough because it's nonstop?
Yeah, dude,
great?
I fucking love Josie and the Pussycats. That movie's great. That movie's great in like a bad movie night type vibe, you know, like
but it's great in this soundtrack I can legitimately listen to at any time and enjoy it kind of way also.
Well, it doesn't hurt that the fact that it was all sung by the chick from Letters to Cleo.
And all written by the guy from Fountains of Wayne.
Yeah! It's a great soundtrack. I think I might listen to that after I listen to the Mask soundtrack, because I have been singing the songs from Mask soundtrack. No. I started with Cuban Pete early on. Megan hates me right now because for the last fucking 4 days, I've just been singing shit from The Mask. I've been like, no!
Hey, Pacino!
Yes, hey, Pacino. And I was like, oh, Tony! Oh, like, let's fucking sing that. And she's like, get me away from you, please. I don't want to listen to this terrible music. So I think with dinner tonight, she's cooking dinner because she's an awesome wife, and understands that I'm podcasting. But she's cooking dinner, and I think that when I get off the podcast, I might surprise her with a little bit of The Mask. I might put on Escape, see what she thinks about it. She definitely liked it. I know she faked that she didn't like it, but I'm pretty sure she liked it when I sang that like little torch song that Cameron Diaz sings when Jim Carrey's character sees her at the club. You know, like You'd Be My Baby.
Scott,
she liked it.
Scott, how many awkward college dates have ended with the dude being like, yeah, I don't, she wanted me to think she didn't like it, but she liked it.
Difference between
what
that.
girl doesn't like it when you break out in song, man?
I've seen 10 things I hate about you. I know what's up.
Dude, it worked. It worked in that movie. It works in real life. I'm married. It worked.
That must be Nigel with the brie.
Oh, man, this is the best end of a podcast that we've had yet. Well, maybe. Because we talked about, in order...
No, don't do Don's work for him. He's got to figure this shit out himself.
If we can slip in a couple more 90s movies, I'll be in heaven. Oh, hey guys, remember 1 year ago when we discussed Happy Birthday to Me for my birthday? That was awesome. That movie was a piece of shit. Way worse than this movie. So let's just put this movie into perspective, all right?
Yeah, I would rather watch this again than I don't know though. Happy Birthday to Me has a shish kebab death.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say.
I would watch the shish kebab death. That's it.
The weight.
I don't know. The weight death is fantastic.
Wait, what about the scarf and the wheel, man? Come on.
That movie promised to have 8 of the craziest deaths you've ever seen, and I think it followed through on that promise. It never advertised it was good. It just said that it had 8 crazy deaths.
I don't know, man. I've heard a lot of good things about Head of the Family.
Well, that was 1988's Monkey Shines, directed by George Romero. Obviously, one of us loved it more than the rest, although, Adam, you seem to have enjoyed it enough.
Yeah, it was all right.
Not enough for my taste, personally. That's just me.
So next week we're going to be talking about Jugface, picked by our good friend Cannon, who seems to really pick some garbage movies, and sometimes he picks it because he wants us to hate it, and then we all like it, and then the other times he picks it because he wants to actually pick a movie that he thinks we'll like, and we all unanimously hate it. Although I totally had a dream inspired by The Pact last night, so that was kind of weird. So we will be talking about Jugface in about a week.
It's not going to be about motorboating, but we're going to talk about that a lot.
And then we're going to start the next round, which is looking pretty good. Just going to say, looking pretty good for you guys in the next round. But it is not too late to email in what movies you want to hear us talk about in the next round. So feel free to send us an email at hmnpodcast@gmail.com. Just put in there your name and what movie you think we should watch. If we pick one of the movies that you suggested, we might even extend the invitation for you to be a co-host. Maybe. That's a big maybe, though. But definitely submit it. We'll say your name. We'll give you a shout-out. And, you get to hear us talk about a movie. I don't know, like Head of the Family or Serial Insane Clown Killer.
No, stop trying to make Serial and Clown Killer happen.
Or Rape Squad.
Okay, now you're just teasing me.
And also don't forget to follow us on SoundCloud and all that good jazz. But what's the cutest killer monkey you've ever seen in a film? Let us know at hmnpodcast@gmail.com. Or
what's the best time you ever got peed on?
Oh. I was going to say the best quadriplegic sex you've ever seen, but
or had. a quick question for you guys, because I've been thinking a lot about it. Since we've been talking about Jeffrey Combs, if it were a fight between Jeffrey Combs and Bruce Campbell, who'd win? I think I've asked you this before. I don't know if it was on the podcast, though.
I'm pretty sure that I'm going to go with Bruce Campbell because Jeffrey Combs is like a fucking skinny, geeky looking dude.
But he's got science on his side.
No, he plays characters that have science on their side.
We're not talking about them really fighting.
You said Jeffrey Combs or Bruce Campbell.
You are the most literal person. Shut the fuck up.
Good, bad. Ash is the guy with the gun, man. What are you gonna do?
But Jeffrey Combs is the reanimator.
And Ash has had experience with that. He's gonna fuck him up.
I don't know. I don't think that.
I say, if you go through both of their careers and who has the higher body count, Bruce Campbell's winning this hands down.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
Bruce Campbell
Have you seen Castle Freak?
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.